What's going on, everybody out there on YouTube? You are with the remote chief. No, actually, you're with the crypto lifer, right? I don't even know who you're with anymore. Now, what's going on, guys? This XSplit, that's how you're doing the, how I'm showing myself to be in with the invisible background. Pretty cool. But boy, do I have a show for you guys today. Yeah, with the crazy world going on, we have a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. So with that being said, let's get into the news. Let's get into the topics of the day. First thing I want to talk about is just Bitcoin, of course, right? All eyes on Bitcoin. If I don't go over Bitcoin, you guys are going to be like, what is this guy doing? What is he thinking? He doesn't have his head on straight. So look, we start off with Bitcoin at 67, and let's see what the low of the day was. We went as low as 66.44. I had my lines here, as you can see, nicely drawn on last support. Do we form a double bottom here? Dump. And do we begin to come back up? Is this the full close bottom? Damn, that plane is so close, I think it's going to hit us. But yeah, do we form the double bottom here? We're getting low on the RSI into the oversold territory. It's just we keep all these dips oversold. We finally had that last dip that made us kind of believe that we were going to get out of it. And we had that big move up, but we're back here in the doldrums yet again. The trend is your friend until it's not. We are just in a horrible downtrend. I mean, this is a higher low. We could hold on to that, but yeah, I mean, there's chances that we go lower, 5,500. There's a chance that this is the bottom and we're done. But honestly, I don't know. You know, I wouldn't start shorting here, honestly, because I think we could see us get back up to 7,000, maybe a small long for the most part. But right now, I'm staying off of Bitcoin. I'm just watching it. I'm really not trading at all. I'm in USDT, just kind of waiting for a better move. I got pounded last night. A few things that I was moving on Link, like I was slowly consolidating on Link. It was in this beautiful accumulation range, and it just went all the way back into my stop loss area, and I got kicked out. And I had 3 different positions that I was in. I'll tell you, like, last night was not fun for me. I lost over $500, man. You know, talk about my losses. And for an $8,000 account, that hurts because 10%, you know, was like $800. So I took a hit last night, a big hit, and it hurt. Thank God I did get out of my Atom trade, but basically it nullified my beautiful Atom trade that I made. I got out somewhere around here, 360, all the way up to, I got out at about 450. It's a beautiful trade. I was so patient. It took 4 days. Like, I played my cards exactly right, did everything I could, and you know, good reversal trade is possible right here. The balance. Like, I'm just nervous to trade anything today because I played everything by the books. I did everything right, and I still got pounded. It's sad, man. There's only one coin in my little list here that's up 8%, 9%, and that's Theta token, which actually just had a huge spike up out of nowhere. If we look at that measured move on that, yeah, that's crazy what it just did. Boomed up 64% in 4 hours. Probably less than that. Like, if we even went to a 30-minute candle, I bet it had it. Yeah, see, there's 30-minute candle. It went up 64%. That's at like 9 this morning. Insanity, right? Would have been a nice move. That's what's so weird about crypto is, like, you'll see the whole thing is red, and then you'll see one thing that'll make you, if I had only been in that one, you know. And it's like, it's kind of, it gets old, man. Here I see Engine forming a nice triangle here on the 30-minute. Usually when one's this big, you'll see it on the 4 hour as well. So I can almost be pretty confident of that. If we skip over to the 4 hour, and there it is. I think we hold that. And we hold that. So Engine looking to break out. Kind of broke out, came back into the triangle, but it's bouncing off the trend lines. This could be a nice buy here, Engine coin. And is there I don't think you can get Engine coin for USDT. Oh, you can. There it is, word. Because I'm staying away from the Bitcoin pairs lately, guys, you know. So on the USDT pair, it broke out, bounce. Now it's consolidating on this line here, this 7-7 line. Could we extend? Let's see. In my mind, I would like to extend this and kind of do something more like that. So, or we can go up like this. A few ways to do it. We are on the bottom of the trend line, should come back up. This is worth looking at. Definitely a play. It consolidated, it bottomed. A lot of traders were looking at you know, a place to accumulate for Engine. So it was on more than one group's radars. People were talking about it. It isn't an up. This is a continuation pattern that should break up. Somewhat of a bilateral triangle, but it did come in from the bottom, like in an upswing. We take the base of this triangle to try to get where we think we'll go. Of course, Bitcoin has to play the game, but this is the only thing I see going on right now is Engine for Tether. Could end up being a nice buy. See, we're bouncing. We had support there. It was resistance. Now it's support again. So this could be not only an SR flip. We're looking at the MACD's kind of draining though. It could turn up and continue another little red green histogram. We do have movement here. We have just regular divergence, nothing crazy, no divergence at all. We just, the RSI is showing that the price is up, the price is up. So they're going together. We'll see what happens. Then we got Atom at 379, 380. It did just bounce off of 368, up a nice 12 cents, and then even had a spike into the 387s. Almost a 10% gain, really, if you think about it. If we look at this, this is extreme divergence, though, due to Bitcoin. It even brought the price lower, but it's still, oh no, there it is there. But here, if we skip a divergence, we have divergence right here. And I've done this. I've skipped these dips and just moved on, and it usually works pretty good. So in my mind, that means that the trend should continue. And actually, I had already found divergence here, and it was from here to there, and I saw it from here to this one. This was lower, this dip. But anyway, it didn't play out due to Bitcoin, you know, and it's sad. You know, you make all the right decisions, and you still get a slap on the wrist. It hurts, man. Trading Bitcoin is tough, you know. It does make you want to go back and trade stocks for me as well, because it's like, you know what? At least that stock is correlated to one asset. You know, like the money that I bought and the stock. Like, I don't have to worry about all the other things that are going on. If I go to Crypto Lifer 1 and I just want to look and talk about XRP, I made a prediction not too long ago on my channel here, about 7 videos ago, and this is what I said. I said this looks somewhat like a complex head and shoulders. You know, you had your head, a shoulder, and another shoulder. I took the top of the head and I drew a line at the end, and this was my line here. And I said we could possibly see 15 cents for XRP, for sure, without a doubt. So we're on the way, and I don't see why we wouldn't see lower lows on the way down to 15 cents. After that, I'm not sure if that's a bottom or not. We are extremely low on the RSI. It's like the lowest we've ever been in a long time. The last time we were even close to this low was in August, and again, we were a little lower here. Here in August, yeah, August we were that low, but if I look, we were never this low. Like, I'm putting my low on the low of this RSI, and in this entire chart, that is kind of the most sold I've ever seen XRP. So that could be a good time to accumulate. Definitely a dip buy. Like, if you know, if you're dollar cost averaging, I mean, today wouldn't be a bad time to get in. Honestly, where did we go? We went all the way down to 18.9. So yeah, I'd be willing to say this is a good time to accumulate and get in, but it's up to you. It's up to you. You are the master of your trading life and what you want to do. But yeah, very low. This has to turn up. I mean, we don't get this low on the MACD much. So whatever. It's just sad. For you XRP bag holders, I'm not hating. I'm just saying I'm one of them. I own a lot of XRP. And you know I didn't buy it here. I bought it in between 20 and 35 to 40 cents. So I'm hurting. Definitely a long-time hodl. They took a lot out of the market cap. I thought we were going to hold this line, but we did not. Now we're going to head back to the trend line. There's a chance the market cap goes back to 39, right? I mean, 39 billion. This is 54 billion. So yeah, guys, it's not looking amazing. Tomo giving back a lot of the gains that it just created. Look at that. Just, you know, they pumped and dumped it. Storm is one of the only coins looking positive today. Yeah, whenever it rains, they just run the planes like right above my head. It ruins my stream, man. It really does. And we had Tezos. I like Tezos. Now it's in kind of a falling wedge. It was in this beautiful, beautiful triangle bull flag, which is about to break out of, and then Bitcoin ruined it all. Really sad, man. You have beautiful patterns. They're playing out right. Everyone's kind of going with the flow, and then you have something like this that happens today, and it just annihilates everything. If we look at Bitcoin on the 15-minute, it's trying to come back again, but it does this every single time. Look, we had our dump, dump, you know, it just, our dump right there, our dump with consolidation, another dump, just keeps dumping. Like, why would it not dump again? You know, it's going to make this new triangle, and it's going to dump on this triangle until something changes, and something needs to change. But it's even getting to me, guys, a little bit as a crypto lifer. You know, Fidelity to expand institutional crypto business to Europe. Fidelity Investment, one of the world's largest asset managers, is setting up a new entity to serve European institutional investors in digital assets. The firm said Tuesday that its new business will be provided through Fidelity Digital Asset Services, a New York State chartered limited liability trust company. Launched in 2018, FDAS already offers custody and trade execution services to U.S.-based institutional investors. It will now also provide European digital asset investors such as hedge funds, family offices, and market intermediaries with these services, Fidelity said in a press release shared with CoinDesk. Amazing. This is really good news. Ripple's partner MoneyGram doesn't hold any Ripple. MoneyGram CEO Alex Holmes reveals that his company instantly sells all the XRP it receives due to regulatory issues. CNN International recently aired its interview with MoneyGram Alex Holmes, where he explained why blockchain giant Ripple was the best fit for his struggling company. During the conversation with CNN's Julia Chatterley, Holmes also revealed that neither he nor his company owned any XRP. See what they say.
MoneyGram is one of the largest money transfer companies in the world, known for its local presence. Yet the rise of digital tech means it's also in a period of transition. Next stop, the digital platform, the key to staying relevant in the cross-border payment industry. I spoke to Chairman and CEO Alex Holmes and asked him to explain what MoneyGram does and how it's tackling broader digitization. Listen in.
The core remittance space, so migrants, hundreds of millions of migrants, you know, moving to other countries to find opportunities, send money back home to support their friends and families and improve the lives of those in the countries that they came from. We traditionally have operated globally, you know, through what we would call an agency network, so 350,000 locations in 200 countries around the world. But recently, in the last several years, we've been going through what we call a digital transformation, really trying to modernize our company and keep up with all the changes in technology and all the things that are happening, you know, at the forefront of digital and communications and telecom and mobile and all the other exciting things.
Yeah, that is exactly the question I was going to ask you. In an increasingly digitized world, what proportion now of your overall transactions are done in some form via digital versus in store, in the local presence that you've talked about? What's the split right now?
Right. No. So, you know, the World Bank is probably the foremost leader in the, you know, in measuring the percent of the industry that is moved digital. And so today they'd say, roughly speaking, about 60% of all transfers around the world are done still through cash. In our business, we're catching up quickly. About in the last quarter, we just surpassed 20% of a lot of online direct consumer.
That partial recovery comes after a steep decline in the previous couple of years.
Form that capability and actually, you know, move money with data, which to me is just, you know, kind of magical in a lot of ways, because that's really what the future is all about. How do you instantly transfer funds? How do you instantly sort of transform the business without all of this, you know, as Brad would say at Ripple, with all this trapped liquidity, you know, around the world. And so that's what's exciting about Ripple. That's what's exciting about their technology platforms and all the change that they're trying to drive and the innovation they're trying to drive.
You chose Ripple because you think they right now have the best platform to do this most efficiently.
I think they not only have the best platform to do it efficiently, but they also have the vision that I think encapsulates what we're trying to do as well, right? How do you infinite possibility of money and we get to actually pre-positioning that currency? So if you're able to take that $300 that consumer wants to send and actually settle it instantly, real time, and give the same rate to MoneyGram that you're giving to the customer, it's actually a very, very interesting opportunity to streamline and take costs out. And
I don't want to spend too much time on it. I wanted to hear him say that they didn't own any Ripple, but Ripple makes it easier and less expensive to transfer money across global on-demand liquidity solution. Back in June, Ripple decided to invest up to $50 million in the old-school money transfer company MoneyGram in a bid to propel the adoption of its native token. The deal was finalized in late November. MoneyGram has a lot of liquidity, working capital positioned all around the world, and Ripple can transform this capability and transfer money with data. It's incredibly complicated to move money across the border, Holmes said. That Ripple's ability to move money with data is magical. They also have the vision that encapsulates. So we listen to that. But they don't hold the Ripple token. They sell it very fast. I'm still kind of in the middle. Like, I own a lot of Ripple. I believe in it. But I'm just believing it out of speculation. 10 or 20% of me is still kind of wondering whether they really want the price of Ripple to go up a lot. Or do they just create more Ripple? I mean, I'd have to do an extremely deep dive of my own. Spiritual, mathematical. I fully believe that it has the potential, and that's why I think you should put a small percentage of what you own. Like if you're worth 100 grand, put 5 grand in Ripple, which some people would say wouldn't be a small percentage. I'm just thinking, something that would be substantial if it were to do what people think it's going to do. Taking a break, John McAfee stops promoting specific coins. He really hasn't been promoting specific coins. Like, I follow him every day. It's been a while since he put out a coin, but anyway, this is just, people just write whatever they want. John McAfee has recently said he will stop promoting specific coins in order to put more effort into his presidential move. McAfee is well aware that he won't win the presidency, but his attempt is more of a message than anything else. McAfee claimed that digging up individual projects in the space took too much time, so he's taking a break. John McAfee, the well-known crypto bull and the active crypto trader, Twitter member, has recently said he will stop promoting specific coins. As previously reported, Crypto Daily, McAfee is well aware that he won't win the presidency. He wants to just be a disruptor. The McAfee 20 campaign has now formally begun. I cannot be president. You all know this, but I hope you also know that I'm a perfect candidate to disrupt the system, and I fully intend to do so. Welcome to our first campaign video. I think I watched it. It's kind of like an all-inclusive video. Just things he's saying. Counting money, loading guns, just, and just the funny videos that he's also made in the background. But really well edited, really well done. I thought it was beautiful. But yeah, I will vote for John McAfee. I'm done with the Republicans and the Democrats. I want to change things and make them different. Ethereum Classic teams rebrand for clarity. It goes to ETC Labs. A rebrand is on the way for Ethereum Classic, as Ethereum Classic Labs Core has just changed. Stephen Loha said the ETC Labs Core has changed to ETC Core. Loha revealed that this change would help the firm to split itself off from ETC Labs. Loha wrote in a separate bold published last week. In a separate bold. See? They're writing typos, dude. Something isn't right here. About Agartha hard fork and the final plans for the update. A rebrand is on the way for Ethereum Classic, as the Ethereum Classic Labs Core has just changed to ETC Core. I don't know how much of a rebrand that is, honestly. Bitcoin all-time high anniversary today. What's changed? Bitcoin reached its all-time high on December 17th with an intraday peak of 20,089. The coin arrived at that level after a turbulent month of exorbitant daily gains. But what's different 2 years on? Bitcoin only spent at moment at peak prices. Soon after reaching the fabled 20,000 mark, Bitcoin's parabolic trend turned for the worst, and within months, the price slid by more than 50%. And that was not the end of the bear market. Over the course of 2018, Bitcoin slid to a fresh low of 3,200. During that time, Bitcoin lost more than 70% of its value. I think it went to 3,150. Yet evolution was happening behind the scenes. Despite the fact that Bitcoin price lost its spot among top businesses, Bitcoin nevertheless proved that it is here to stay despite the short-term price fluctuations. In the intervening years, Bitcoin price actually achieved several strong rallies, with minor altcoin seasons happening in between. Price did not reach new highs, but they managed to bounce off the lows. Tether set the pace. They kept printing more Tether. Miners expanded their operations to new record highs. The Bitcoin network hash rate grew over the last years. At current prices, miners still go strong, with 90 quintillion hashes per second, and a peak for the year at 100 quintillion hashes per second. 2 years ago, the hash rate was around 15 ETH, roughly 6 times lower. After the shock of the bear market, BTC showed that it can be an attractive asset, even without peaking to new highs. The coin has managed significant rallies, and once again showed with prudent use it can be a source of a personal finance improvement, but also to appeal to institutions. Bitcoin did not replace altcoins, although most smaller assets sank into the oblivion, nor did the coin return to a market cap dominance of 90%. Altcoins also carved up their own pieces of liquidity, not competing but adding to the opportunities of Bitcoin. What do you think about the evolution of Bitcoin since its all-time high? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Crypto hot trends and opportunities. Bitcoin, Ethereum dumped, dude. Back down to 130. Not good since it's like the streamlined coin for all of the new currencies, like altcoins. Like when Ethereum moves, it means that we're going to have a movement usually in the altcoins. It's kind of like the big daddy of the altcoins. And we were just at like 179, 180 not a month ago. To see Ethereum back to 130, and it took so long for it to move its way from 130 back to 180. It's just tough when you see gains and then you lose weeks of gains within like hours. It's just sad. It's like, how are we going to ever get back up there? And it really demoralizes you as a holder. I just made a decision to never sell my long-term Bitcoin, even if it goes to zero. Like, I just made that decision. Probably the worst decision I ever made, but I'm willing to live with it. And that's what's okay. Whatever I don't buy with it, maybe I didn't need it in the first place. MakerDAO's DAI will dominate Latin America, claims Mazari Selkis. 2019 has proven to be a year for the development of the stablecoin ecosystem. The launch of a China-backed stablecoin CBDC, dubbed DCEP, digital currency electronic payment, is imminent, but the same cannot be said about its Western counterparts. Facebook's Libra is a prime example of the same, with uncertainty over its launch still looming large. According to a recent Mazari report authored by founder and CEO Ryan Selkis, Facebook and the Libra Association plans to decentralize the project, and any real way is out of the gates. Selkis also went on to say that the social media giant stablecoin initiative is more or less dead on arrival. The report also noted that despite the chaos from the Libra announcement spurred this year, the hype associated with it has faded. On the upside, the report stated that the announcement did accelerate talks about the cryptocurrency industry, despite the fact that most of U.S. Congress decisions centered on suppressing and regulating stablecoins and cryptocurrency. Tether fits my mental model of technically illegal, but not necessarily unethical innovations, and its management has been an exercise in survival via obfuscation. Tether market cap doubled in the past year, even as more trustworthy competitors emerged. It remains the most liquid, stable, and censor-resistant stablecoin in crypto, with a coterie of power supporters. Now, I hated Tether and I refused to use it in all of 2016. I would only trade Bitcoin pairs, and I was just like, no. And then I made my first Tether pair. Now I have $7,000 sitting in Tether. I use Tether because it has the most liquidity. If I'm trying to day trade or get in out of something, then I want to make sure that when I sell, it's easy to sell. I don't trust USDC. I don't trust USD. I don't trust the other ones, or TUSD. I actually got into a trade recently with TUSD, not even knowing I was in it. And then I had to sell out of TUSD back to Tether because I didn't trust it. And it was pretty funny. But there is like a brand to that. And like, I trust Tether now. And I hope it doesn't go down the tubes tomorrow, because that would be sad, right? But yeah. The stablecoin game should be far more regulated. The United States should step in right now to help the consumer and the people that in their own country, like they want to make sure if I have money in it that it can't go to zero, that it's stable, right? Unfair that if I were to put my money in a stablecoin and lose, as if I was actually speculating, because I don't plan on speculating when I'm in a stablecoin. I think the United States is doing a disservice to its citizens by not stepping up and making sure that these stablecoins are all quietly regulated. And I don't want like decentralized coins like Libra and stuff like that. But if it is stable, I wouldn't mind some form of the SEC or something coming in just to making sure it's audited and make sure that there's actually the proper backing of the dollar behind the coin. That's all. Deutsche Bank meltdown, 25 trillion in debt. Be ready. So I just want to play this for you guys just to give you an idea of what's going on with Deutsche Bank. But this is by the Atlantis report. Check them out on YouTube.
70 in Germany. It operates in 58 countries and had 89,958 employees in Q3 2019. Deutsche Bank is the 17th largest bank in the world with 1.5 trillion in assets. Its stock has been nose-diving in recent years. It laid off 20,000 employees. It appears that it is getting close to being a zombie bank. The bank, however, has $45 trillion in derivatives, and these appear to be densely interconnected to US banks. European banks and financial institutions are quite fragile given the trillions in non-performing loans, negative rates, etc., along with individual emerging market economies' sovereign debt and dollarized corporate debt loads Argentina, Turkey, etc., India's shadow banks' leverage and NPLs, and China's debt. Europe banks may prove the next locus of the global financial crisis on the agenda. That more general financial fragility, and thus instability, would undoubtedly raise the probability of Deutsche Bank repeating the role of Lehman in the next crisis. In short, you can't evaluate Deutsche Bank just in relation to its and its counterparties' derivatives exposure. Contagion will not occur only within a specific subset of the banking system, it will soon spread via expectations to other sectors of the credit system as it did in 2008, and that will quickly feed back negatively on the Deutsche Bank partners' derivatives exposure condition. The banking sector is having a rough time. According to the McKinsey report, 1 in 3 banks threaten to disappear in the coming months. There have been a weakness signal months ago when Deutsche Bank has been reducing its working force by 18,000 since July, according to a CNN report. A series of geopolitical risks from the erratic trade war between the US and China, and remaining ambiguity over Brexit. Tensions in Middle East, Hong Kong, and now recently, China have created an extraordinary situation that is not only very difficult to predict, but also bears the risk of volatility in the financial markets. And it's already evident that these uncertainties are beginning to impact the world economy. After a decade of global growth, there are clear signs of a slowdown in some major economies. The warning bells of a recession are ringing and include Europe. Deutsche Bank is bankrupt, our system will start to break under its own weight. Europe's biggest investment bank, Deutsche Bank, is in big trouble. If it becomes real, it will be the end of the financial system as we know it. Deutsche Bank could not fail without causing a domino effect and taking with it the whole system. It's also a harbinger of a bigger problem with European banks in general, which are loaded with trillions of euros in non-performing bank loans. They haven't been able to shed since the crisis of 2008 and subsequent Eurozone double-dip recession of 2011. The region's banks and insurers have lost dramatic amounts of ground, with only one still ranking in the top 20 globally by market value compared with 6 before the financial crisis. Deutsche Bank is to Germany as what Wells Fargo is to the US, it just does not stop at one scandal, there is another and another and another. Today, Deutsche Bank was convicted of derivatives transactions in Italy. An Italian court convicted 13 former bankers from Deutsche Bank, Nomura, and Monte dei Paschi di Siena on Friday over derivative transactions that prosecutors say helped MPS, the world's oldest bank, conceal huge losses. The verdict also ordered the seizure of 64 million euros, about $70.5 million, from Deutsche Bank and 88 million euros from Nomura as part of the sentence. Monte dei Paschi reached a settlement of 10.6 million euros with the court in 2016. The case centers on 2 controversial derivatives deals, known as Alexandria and Santorini, that Nomura and Deutsche Bank arranged for Monte dei Paschi in 2009. Prosecutors said the deals helped Monte dei Paschi, which was founded in 1472 and is Italy's 4th biggest lender, hide more than 2 billion euros of losses it racked up after the costly acquisition of a smaller rival in 2008. Monte dei Paschi's managers were accused of colluding with Deutsche Bank and Nomura bankers to hide losses at the Italian lender by using complex
Jesus, I was just talking about the health of Deutsche Bank. I didn't know they were scammers.
Europe's biggest investment bank, Deutsche Bank, is technically bankrupt, and of course for everyone who knows, Deutsche Bank is the bank for derivatives trading. We are talking about derivatives contracts in the value range of quadrillions of dollars, not millions, not billions, not trillions of quadrillions. And derivatives contracts are at the very core outright gambling. Deutsche Bank is in big trouble. If its bankruptcy becomes real, it will be the end of the financial system as we know it. And as the big banks are highly leveraged, and they are interdependent. If one major bank fails, a lot of others are going to fall like dominoes. Debts that they don't reveal directly. It probably will survive if it has support, but otherwise, we all are going to have a massive problem in the next couple of years. I've told you before, you should be anxious. In the Western world, the world is going to have a lot of problems in the next couple of years. Be worried. Then the EU would disintegrate because Germany would no longer...
I don't like this be worried stuff. Like I say, buy gold, buy Bitcoin, have some type of plan. Even if the plan doesn't go perfectly, at least you believe you have a plan. And that will mentally propel you into a positive mind state and keep you from blocking, filling up with a lot of negativity and getting full of anxiety. Bitcoin skeptical cryptocurrency exchange Bitcoin.com has sparked a fresh controversy after supporting Hex. Now, I just recently watched a video with Richard Hart and Roger Ver, and I tried to put in like the hour and a half. It was a 2-hour interview. The video was actually 6 hours long. I think Ver stayed on. I couldn't, obviously watch 6 hours of of Richard Hart. But while volatility greets Hex traders, the move makes Bitcoin.com one of the few recognized trading platforms to forge ties with Hex. Now, I don't think he forged ties. All he was saying was, if it's an asset and it's out there, I'll put it on the exchange. He doesn't even care if it's a scam or not. He's just saying it's up to you if you want to trade it. It's a free market. Obviously he didn't fully believe it's a scam, but then we can say this too. Infamous BitConnect shill Trevon James turns his attention to Hex. The decision for James comes 2 years after the demise of cryptocurrency's most damaging multi-level marketing scheme, BitConnect, being shut down in January 2018. In a YouTube video, 5 reasons why you should look at Hex, James gives viewers a step-by-step guide on how to earn Hex by staking Ethereum through Richard Hart's smart contract. Hart even covered James's involvement during one of his live streams, even alluding to James's connection with BitConnect.
BitConnect had 2 top promoters. One was Trayvon James, and one was Craig Grant. They both now promote Hex. Why? Is it because someone reached out to them and told them to? Nope. It's because they knew that the design was going to pop off. They knew that it was going to be successful. So they're promoting it. And guess what they're not promoting? Some other bullshit. So every single referrer and every single person that we can onboard to an audited, openly verifiable, trustless peer-to-peer network like Hex, that's one more user and one more perhaps dollar that isn't going to a scam.
All right, but he's sitting on $5 million worth of Ether right now that he claims he's not the origin address. I don't know. Richard now has received a total of 5.65 in Ethereum as investors continue to be lulled by the promise of radical gains in a short period of time. Coincidentally, U.S. securities regulator SEC is a warning on Twitter. If it sounds too good to be true, anticipated monthly returns of 20% plus, incredible gains, guaranteed high returns, it probably is. Now Hex has gone down 60%. I'd like to take a deep dive into Hex. Ask someone who got into Hex. That's why what we need is like experimental people who just join and they just, they take a little bit of Bitcoin, they claim, and they just see how it works and they report on it. Like they don't even care about what happens, they just report on it. Because what happens is whoever's really losing bad, they're not going to report on it because they want you to keep buying Hex, right? So they're going to hope that they can sucker you in to get themselves out. So now we can't get full disclosure over whether it's really working or not or what's going on. We can go to CoinMarketCap. I know that. And I know they did add Hex, which is, at least it's a check for us. So we can see what happens with Hex, okay? Let's see its return on investment. No data on the return on investment, okay? Right now it's worth 0.00130. Okay, I guess it has no data. Like you can't. I'm pretty sure it was on an exchange though, right? And here you can't see market pairs. They won't really show you how much it's gone up. You can't get any real good information on it. You can't find the circulating supply. You can find out that there's what 2 trillion, right? There's 9 million, 2 billion coins out there right now. But you can't, big payday, look how pudgy I was in 2014 at this Bitcoin conference. Let's see how fat.
The Bitcoin community is for me it's complete what is good
I can't, what do you mean? Oh, there, is that him right there?
Well, I think
What is big boobies? Richard Hart and his boobs. He should just call it boobs. You know, Silicon Valley TV show is inspired. Hex, $1 billion use of Bitcoin free claimed from 23,000 addresses using 148,000 Bitcoin. 84% is staked. Take a look at how many 10-year stakes there are. I mean, why not just stack it for 10 years? I mean, who cares? Right? You don't care about it anyway. Cryptocurrency is about personal responsibility and self-governance, permissionless, innovative. Now, I wanted to claim the Hex just because I had the Bitcoin, and I was like, it's free. Like, why not do it free? But then I got nervous with, like, the keys and the, I don't know, and I don't know, man. I felt skeptical. And I never claimed the Hex. I honestly think, you know what, you should claim the Hex because even if it is a scam, it's free. And as long as you can make sure you're not going to lose your Bitcoins, then do it, you know? That's my opinion because who cares? Just don't promote it. Don't tell anyone you did it, you know? Do it in your own time, by yourself, and see what happens. I wouldn't then go shill it on anybody else. That's my whole thing. You know, follow me at CryptoLifer33 where you get news. I talk about different things. If I'm in a trade, I actually update the trade a little bit and let you guys know what's going on. But yeah, this is my view into Hex. You know, there's just a lot of strangeness going on, high strangeness. Trevon James pushing it now. Just interesting, right? I mean, they'll grab any source of income. More people to get it, the better it is for them, right? So now this is our new line of support. Where we're hanging out right here at 67.15. So yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't get ready. I think we're gonna have a bounce back up, and then we're gonna go to 5,500. Sad to say, and I think we could see 10 cents for XRP. I hate that I'm being such a negative Nancy. It's not like me to be like this, but I'm just being a realist at this point. I'm not trying to lie to myself or to my subscribers or to anyone out here. Like, you know, there's a good chance that I mean, you tell me what stops XRP from falling lower, you know, because I don't see it. So, but yeah, look, 89 for WPO. Everything just took a hit. Pivx, only coin up 5% today. Pivx, little XTZ still making its move. What else we got here? FET. You know, FET is one of those lovers of love that just doesn't want to die, man. Took a nice bottom here at 4 cents and went back to half a penny. Just look at this article, you know, XRP drops to the lowest price since 2017. Bull run, can the bulls recharge XRP? XRP price hits the lowest price since 2017. Bull run hits 20 cents. It plummets over 95% since the all-time high. Can the bulls reawaken XRP? Meanwhile, the slightly more resilient Bitfinex exchange token Elio is down 57% from its all-time high on June. The market cap started at 1 billion, rose above 2 billion, and now stands at 860 million. Ripple's XRP is below 20 cents for the first time since late 2017 bubble. It's now down 95% from its all-time high of 384. Ripple Inc. affiliated token started the year off at 35 cents, raising to a high of 51 cents during the July bull run. However, all turned sour on XRP market. See, I thought that bull run was the beginning of the real bull run, and I loaded up, and boy, was I wrong, because I got a lot of coins, and I took a hit on that too, on my hodl. So, it's a hard game, man. If you're into crypto, there will be a lot of pain. All these guys out here showing you all the money they make and going in and out and saying they're quitting their jobs and stuff. I think it's all well and good, but let's talk about the pain. And that's why I'm Crypto Lifer. You're going to hear about my life in crypto. I'm not really here to promote or anything else, but just to watch me go through this life in crypto, documenting it for myself, for others. I can look back and see this journey that I went on live stream, you know, every day as I, you know, moved through the crypto land. Meanwhile, slightly more resilient. Yes, it just, wow. I don't think at the present moment we can. In the next bull run we can, but we need Bitcoin to move, man. We need Bitcoin to get up above 10,000 again and like just recharge. When Bitcoin went to 10,003 from that 7.4, I never thought we would be down at 7 just a month later. It was a fake out of all fake outs. They got me believing things that just, you know. Yeah, but is Hex a scam? Did you guys claim Hex? Let me know. I would love to know what you think about it. I don't want to promote it. I just want to talk about it. you know. Yeah. What do you guys think of Hex? I didn't claim, and I never told anyone to claim. But I do regret sometimes just, I mean, free money. Even if I claimed, and I don't know if you could sell it pretty early, if you could get out of it today, like just to get an extra 50 bucks. You know, if you weren't into the whole long-term staking. This is pretty cool. David Wilcox, Secret Space Programs, declassified in 2020. He goes over a lot of interesting things and topics. And he's just someone I've been following for over 10 years. And even if it's just pure entertainment, I love to get into it. Him and Tom DeLonge from Blink-182, really interesting people. And I think they're worth following. They're not related to crypto, but they're related to how the world will move forward. And I think crypto's part of that. Like, if we end up in space, if we end up having a civilization on Mars, if we already do have a civilization on Mars, I just think that it goes hand in hand with, you know, fast money, movement money, how we're going to move fast throughout society and throughout the world and the universe. OneCoin took that hit. See, I was struggling up to 112. It went. Now it's all the way down. 112 on December 7th. 10 days later, this thing is at 62. That's why you really must have a stop loss. Doing its rounded bottom, but it wanted to come back down. That was probably its bottom there, though, at 53. We shall see. We shall see what happens. But that's the news for today. Yeah, Bitcoin not doing great. Not a lot of, I can't even tell you I'm in a position right now. I'm in no positions. It's bearish, man. It's bearish. It's very, very bearish. Let's look at this coin here. It's in a falling wedge, ARPA. Just kind of seeing what's going on, going through the motions here. Follow this through. This may come back up to the trend line. That's the only trade I'm really seeing. Maybe we get back up to 142. You know, get yourself 10 satoshis. But yeah, everyone's on the fence right now. Kava was the only thing moving. Still continues to move. It's up 13%. It's in an uptrend now too. Here's the 15-minute. Let's look at it on the 4-hour. Yeah, it's beginning an uptrend. Looks like it reversed its pattern here. So this could be something willing to trade when it comes back down to the trend line. It's the only thing that's saying like completely out of it compared to Bitcoin. You could get out at 75. That was a week ago. And now you're up at 109. That's a nice 30% gain on Kava. Yeah. Kava's something I definitely have been watching. You can see I already drew this, and I was kind of following this to see what would happen. And it broke out of a rising wedge, which is 68% chance. It did what it's supposed to do. And you can see the measured move is basically the bottom of this. So we would try to see, we should get as low when we bounce out. And clearly, we came pretty damn close, right? So to me, that's a measured move that occurred. It really likes this line of support too. Hit it there, and hit it again. So 78 cents, 75 cents area was really a nice accumulation range for Kava. Kind of put that out there. If we ever get back in there, it might be another place to get down. But yeah, not much to talk about. Just want to stay up with the news. Make sure I'm with you guys. The crypto lifer is here no matter what. On the ups and the downs, whether the plane's coming to drop over my head or not, it doesn't matter. I'm passionate about bringing you guys the news. I'm passionate about expanding consciousness. If I can expand someone's consciousness in some way, shape, or form throughout my videos, then that's basically my role on this earth, and I did what I was supposed to do. Thank you guys so much for being here, being a part of this. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. And remember, crypto is life.